Writers Live series. My name is James Larson and I'm the Adult Programming Coordinator for the Palm Beach County Library System. This series is made possible through the generous support of the Friends of the Library. If you would like to become a member of the Friends today, you will receive a special Writers Live tote bag, which you can bring to all the Writers Live events and have it signed by each of the authors. Please stop by the Friends of the Library table right outside after the program for more information about the fundraiser or becoming a member. Following the author's talk, there will be time for you to meet the author and get your book signed. We're pleased to have Classic Bookshop here to sell copies of the author's book, as you can see here. The Sex Lives of Siamese Twins. A portion of the proceeds will go to the Friends of the Library as well as supporting local business. So please consider a purchase if you're in the market to buy. And a few items of business. Turn off your cell phones. There's always one in every audience. That's okay.
It's usually me, actually.
Oh no. And for a book signing, we'll go ahead and move through the line and give you a post-it note so you can write down what you want the author to say. And now a little bit about today's speaker. Mr. Welsh, a native of Scotland and a part-time resident of Miami, is the author of many critically acclaimed novels, including Blue, The Bedroom Secrets of the Master Chefs, Filth, The Acid House, Skag Boys, and most famously, Trainspotting. A big round of applause for today's author.
Yeah, this book's given me a lot of problems because what I normally do, firstly, well, thanks for coming along. It's kind of, usually I'm used to kind of doing these things very late at night. You know, it's usually 10 o'clock, so to be in a library at 2 o'clock is kind of quite a strange experience for me. I'm usually in bed at this time. But yeah, this book is like, what I usually do is I do a reading from a book, usually what happens is that the characters that I kind of read from, they're not a kind of million years removed from me, and that they're usually male and Scottish, basically. Not always, but usually. These two characters are female and American, and they're both a lot younger than me, so this presents kind of problems when you stand up and you start to read. Not least because, you know, the credibility problem, obviously, but not even more so because when I try and do an American accent, it just sounds ridiculous and strange. You know, it sounds like my wife's American and she says it's like John Wayne on steroids. I'm not even going to try. Well, I might try later on. See how we go. But I kind of, I wanted, just a kind of word about how the book came about. I live mainly in Chicago, and I've got a little place in Miami which I'm trying to escape to for as much of the Chicago winter as I can. And what I find is that, you know, being Scottish, you know, and being the guy who you get off the taxi from Miami Airport to Miami Beach, and I'm the kind of the guy with the white milk bottle skin and the sort of beard gut and all that. Everybody else is all walking around all kind of ripped and stuff. You know. So I think I've got to get myself in shape and start going to the gym and sort of, you know, to sort of get a tan so that I can kind of fit in a bit more with everybody else. And so I get into all that much more than I do anywhere else. And I was in one gym, and again, I don't know if anybody's been. I don't know if there's any gym rats here that go to all these gyms in Miami and places like that. And there's one in Miami's got a tremendous mixture of different gyms. You know, you've got ones that are kind of that are proper gyms where people go to really seriously train and lift weights and do cardio and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, boxing clubs people go to train and fight. And it's other places like the Equinox chain, for example, that are basically like kind of they're basically like yuppie singles bars during the day. You know, people just go there and kind of sort of look around. The DJ plays kind of ambient music and people kind of booze each other and all that. Hey, what are you doing? And it's that kind of, you know, so there's everything in between. And I've kind of tried them all, basically just about every gym in Miami Beach. And one time I was in the Crunch gym on Washington, and I saw these two women who were training with each other, and one was obviously the trainer, and and the other one was client. And this woman was just kind of, she had this other woman doing this kettlebell kind of weight, raising this kettlebell weight, and kind of doing squats, but she came down with the kettlebell weight, and she was just shouting at this woman, you know, faster, faster, give me more, give me more. And the woman started crying. She was just, I can't do it anymore. You can do more, you loser. And I thought, she's paying her to do this. She's, you know, and it was, this is like a, you know, this is it's like, if you're a writer, you know, it's like, this is like treasure. You know, you just like, I've stumbled on a chest of treasure here. I've got two characters instantly. I've got this kind of crazy fascist trader, and I've got this whingy kind of sort of dependent sort of client. And I've got the relationship between them. There's a monetary relationship, a professional relationship, but there's obviously something more. There's a kind of sadomasochistic element just screaming out in this relationship here. And for a writer, that's just like striking gold. You know, I've got, you know, I've basically got the characters, I've basically got the story, you know. So then you're just asking all the what if questions, you know, who are, you know, and you take this away and you start to kind of think, who are these people and all that, you know, and you're kind of, you know, what is their backstory, how did this person become so driven and so crazy, and how did this person become so dependent, and what are the consequences for both of them as the relationship develops, you know, how can it get even crazier, how can you just take them and make them just go absolutely nuts, basically. And that was the sort of the challenge that I had, to get these people into each other's worlds, which are very, very different worlds. You know, you've got the world of sport on one side and physical fitness. You've got the world of art on the other side. Both very Miami kind of concerns, because it's a very, very visual culture. And you've got this kind of sport, bloody beautiful culture. You've got this kind of artistic kind of looking out and the aesthetics of the world and all that. And you know, internalizing things and living in your own head. Two differently extreme kind of personas. And I really enjoyed writing about this because I thought that this is great. I'm writing about characters for once that are nothing kind of like me. You know, I'm abstracting this, and I finished the first draft, and I gave it to the wife to read, and she said to me, like, she read it, and she goes, wow, she goes, these two characters are more like you than any other character you've ever written. And I was like, oh my God, what have I done? But it was kind of good in a way, because I never trust a book that I'm not scared of. You know, I've got to write, when I write a book and I finish it, I think to myself, it's almost like, you know, oh my God, what's my mother going to say about this book? And that's part, you know, if I don't have that feeling, I start to get really scared. I've got to have that feeling of tremendous mortification and embarrassment, and I'll want to die if, you know, if anybody reads this, and then, great, it's perfect, now I can send it out. And it was funny, actually, I did give it to my mum to read when it came out, and it's been out in the UK for a few months earlier because I've changed my publishers here. But I gave it to my mum, who's in her 80s now, and she read it, you know, because, you know, and she was quite quiet about it for a bit. I could see she wasn't that happy about it. And she said, what do you think of the book then, Mum? She goes, it was well written, son, but there was far too much lesbian sex. So I'm telling, well, what is enough lesbian sex in our kind of, you know, and you know, she was quite stroppy about it. And she said to me, like, what do you know about lesbian sex anyway? I said, well, hopefully a bit more than you. So kind of, so that you're, but I like that, you know, you've got to have, I think, that kind of practice thing going on. You've got to have that, I think you've got to have that tension within yourself, or at least I do anyway, before I kind of feel, I really feel the kind of, the soul of a book, if you like. What I was trying to do, you know, I think was trying to look at the way that our kind of world, our kind of sort of consumerist society sort of operates, you know, and we always have to be consumers, you know, we kind of, and you think that, you know, if you put on weight and you want to lose that weight, the obvious answer is you just eat less, you know, so you consume less, but we can't have that in our paradigm. You can't, actually, you're not allowed to consume less, you have to consume different, so you have to consume a different product. So it's not the fact that you need to, less to lose weight. How you lose weight is by buying a gym membership, taking a different diet program, going on buying sort of weight loss pills, going on getting liposuction or whatever. It's like, sort of what we're trying to do is we're actually stop consuming. Don't consume less product, consume different product, and that's the sort of that's the merry-go-round, that's the indoctrination, that's where all these kind of all these self-help books that we read are kind of conditioned to do that. They're kind of conditioned to make us feel bad about ourselves, so we buy all this kind of horrible shit that isn't going to do us any good. It ultimately just make us feel even worse about ourselves. So I was trying to kind of write a book about the lunacy of that kind of world that we live in. And I was also trying to do it about the kind of the sort of the relentless indoctrination that we get. And it used to be just women that get this. Women still get it worse, but men are increasingly vulnerable to it as well. In this kind of very narcissistic kind of society that we live in, about this body image, and it is worse for women under the patriarchy and the sort of the world that we live in. But it's becoming increasingly an issue for men. But the characters in the book, I think, had to be women because they're more at the sharp end of that still than men are. So I wanted to kind of get that sort of thing going on in the book. That was the sort of the kind of the first element of it. And the second key element for me was to look at how you had this, we have this kind of big breaking news culture as well. That it's not enough to have somebody becomes a story. It's not enough to sort of just say this happened. That this guy ran into this burning building and pulled his kid out. So that's the actual news. So what they do next again, they'll have the backstory on the guy that did this. Or the guy's done it. It's like, and then next a few weeks time, but the guy was actually we found out the guy's a sex offender and all this kind of stuff. So there's all this the story has to unravel and they have to keep feeding people news. And you forget eventually that what happened was that somebody saved somebody from a burning fire. It shouldn't be just one line. The burning fire hero was kind of there, it's like bang, 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 bang. So that's what they're doing. It's a manufacture of kind of news. It's turning news into documentary, into so-called human interest, but it's turning an event into a story, because basically the rate become higher in that thing, in that kind of way. So I wanted to write about what happens to somebody when they became a story, and Lucy, the main character, and one of the two main characters in it, she becomes a story from this kind of selfless act. She's kind of this very unselfish thing she's done, but it rebounds on her and she becomes a victim of this whole system, and she's kind of this whole system of news and this whole media culture. And so that was one of the elements I wanted to look at. And I think the third element for me was to look at the kind of the dichotomy that we have in our society between sport and art, and how that when we're very young, with the way the education system works and the way that kind of peer group pressure works, is that we're either designated kind of sporty people or artsy people, and that always really pissed me off growing up, because I loved sport. I was always very sport orientated. I loved playing football. I went to boxing club, and I loved playing tennis, and I was really drawn to that kind of life. But I also loved art. I loved painting. I loved writing. I loved poetry, and you couldn't really do both, because you had your sporty friends, and they would say, and they would be the ones that used to kind of bully the artsy friends, and they would say, "What are you doing hanging out with these poofs? Let's fuck at them," or something. And then you would get the artsy guy going, "Oh, what are you doing? These guys are meatheads." So what are you doing hanging around with them? So I've never felt comfortable in either of these two camps. I always wanted to do both, basically, and I hated kind of being cast in the role of one or the other. And I think that so much of that, like so much of everything else, it comes out of that, you know, the division of labour with the industrial revolution and industrialism, and the way that we're kind of we're pigeonholed into being one thing or another, because it's just the way that society operates. It's almost like you know, we have so many needs, but for the sake of the economy, we have to limit our own personal needs and our own personal growth. And I think it's a way of dividing people, and it's a way of stopping us from integrating within ourselves and becoming kind of rounded, basic human beings, you know. So I wanted to kind of to look at somebody who was extremely sporty on one hand, and somebody who was extremely artsy on the other hand, and who lived in these different worlds, and to try to get them to almost like mesh together and to sort of find something in the other one that would kind of that would help their kind of sort of growth and their kind of you know, sort of you know. And I think, you know, everybody gets to a certain age in the year that I think all our quests in life is to become the very best possible version of ourselves. And I think, you know, and you do that through other people, basically. You know, other people add to you, and I think that was the kind of thing that the book was trying to get across. And it's kind of, you know, so I think it's probably a lot more positive than a lot of the books are right. It's kind of got quite a kind of an upbeat ending, which I won't obviously won't spoil. But that's kind of that's basically how, you know, how I came to do it. And the difficulties I had in doing it were obviously that even though I've lived in America for a while, that people express themselves very differently here than they do over in the UK. People have different cultural references from TV and film and all that kind of stuff growing up, and so I had to learn all about these things, and I had to learn a lot about language, the way people talk, and sort of over here, because you can chat away to anybody, but you only get when you actually start to render that down on paper, it's really funny for me. It's really unusual, you know, to do that, just as it is for you to kind of read stuff about over there. But so it was and to get all these cultural references was kind of, you know, that took a lot of research, but it was very satisfying as well to do, because it's kind of I think it's always good as a writer to kind of move out of your comfort zone a little bit to tackle something that's a wee bit different. But yes, that's me. So basically, just open it up now and have a general chat. If you want to ask me anything at all about, you know, what I'm up to in terms of writing, I do a lot of work. I do a lot of film work on scripts and script doctoring and TV stuff. But and I've always got a book on the go. So feel free to ask anything about that or anything about this book that you want to know. Over to you guys. Just stick your hand up.
Would it be okay if I ask a question about train spotting?
Yeah, anything you like. Yeah.
I actually have two questions. The first is actually a comment. When you were talking about the differences in language, when I was listening to watching the movie, I was listening to characters say, it's shite to be Scottish. And I said to myself, well, shite, what is that? I mean, you know, I didn't know what the word was. And I thought it must be a Scottish word, and I Googled it, you know, to see what it was, and finally I realized it was shit. So I was thinking about that when we were talking about that conversation.
It's a nice word, shite, because it's like it's kind of, you can say it with much more aggression. Like shit, it's like shit. It means nothing but shite. You know, you can really let rip with it.
The movie itself, how do you write a book, or how do you write a book like that? I would imagine you have experience with the characters have experience. How do you delve into that? Do you interview people, or?
I didn't really do much kind of research apart from kind of taking loads of drugs when I was younger and trying to work out why I did that. And that was really what the book was about. Thinking about you know, the difficulty I had was that I started to write it in standard English. You know, as you're brought up kind of Christ centre visited, and people kind of don't talk like that or act like that or think like that. You know? So I thought, what I'll do is I'll start to kind of I'll do it more phonetically, and I'll put a lot of kind of street slang and kind of authenticate it more, make it feel more real. And I did that, and then I went to, from the dialogue, I went to the narrative, and the narrative was very, suddenly, you know, they were like, fuck this, fuck that. And then suddenly, the thoughts were suddenly sounding like kind of, you know, English public school, Oxbridge graduates again, standard English. So I thought, I'll do something which was a bit more contentious, you know, I'll put the kind of narrative, in, you know, and write it in the very same voice as I write the dialogue. And I looked, you know, I was really vibing on it. I was just battering away at the keys and kind of flying through page after page after page after page. And then I looked at what I got, and I read the first page, and I thought, I can't read this. It's just nonsense. It looks like kind of, it looked like kind of some kind of, you know, exotic foreign language on the pages. Like, it might as well have been hieroglyphics to me. You know, I thought, nobody's going to read this. It's never going to get published. You know, and it's like, and I got so despondent about it for a bit. And I left it. I went back to. I read the first few pages again. I thought, well, once you actually say it out loud, you pick up the kind of rhythm of it a bit more. At least, you know, people in Scotland will do and all that. So I stuck it in, and the publisher said to me, "This is a fantastic book. I want to publish it." The first guy I sent it to, basically, was the best publisher in London. I thought, I'll start at the top. You know, expected to collect loads of attention. And this guy kind of said, "We love this book." I was away on holiday in Spain. I came back with all these messages in the answer phone, and I thought it was my friends mucking around in the pub. You know, one or two of them had heard I was doing a book, so I thought they were putting on this really posh voice. So I just ignored it, and then I got a letter telling me to come down to London. I was living back up in Edinburgh at the time. So I come down to London, so I went down and met them, and I said, "This is wonderful, this is going to be a literary phenomenon, this is great." He said, "Of course, nobody's going to buy it for me." So I was thinking, like, literary phenomenon equals loads of money and fame and success and kind of, you know, this is going to be fabulous. And I said, nobody's going to read it. So, God. But, well, I'll get me a few trips down to London and bought a few meals and take the nice restaurants and all that. I can't complain. And so, but it did, you know, it did actually take off. It was great. But again, it's because of people, they read it out loud the first few pages, so we got past all that kind of stuff. So,
Your writing medium of favorite is?
Sorry?
Your writing medium of favorite is?
Sorry, I'm deaf for this.
Your writing medium of favorite is?
I'm sorry, I'm still lost.
Your writing medium of favorite.
Oh, my right medium of paper is, I don't know. I mean, I like them all. I mean, it's like the book's great because you can do anything you want, and you hand it into your to the editor, and then they maybe sort of say change this, change that, or sometimes not. Sometimes they're okay with it. But usually there's some changes that have to be made. Not great ones, but. Oh, books are better. I thought you were talking about screenplays versus
No.
things, but bits of paper and yeah, both. You got to do both. I mean, I used to do. There's a guy up in Orkney called George Mackay Brown, a really old guy, in Orkney Islands of the north of Scotland, and he kind of he won the Booker Prize about 10 years ago, and he's still maybe even more than that actually. He's still going strong. And I think he has like something like 3 ballpoint pens, which are kind of cut price, cheapo versions of Sharpies, if you can imagine that. You know, these brick ballpoint pens they call them. They're terrible to write with, but I think he gets 3 of them. And he says, when he's finished 3, the novel's done, and he writes it all longhand, and he sends it to somebody to be typed. And I could never write anything like that longhand. And I think my I think now we're going to lose the skill of handwriting. I mean, my handwriting is like, it's worse than my doctor's, put it that way. It's just a mess. So I think that I do like the kind of tactile thing of taking notes, so writing stuff down and making corrections. But I think it's becoming a smaller part of what I do. I think it probably is for most writers now. It becomes a smaller part of what we do, and it's a shame because it's such an interesting personal sort of skill that it would be a shame if it was lost entirely.
Back to kind of train spotting characters. When you finished that book, did you have plans?
Yeah. And the original stuff that I had there kind of that became a lot. That became the prequel to Trainspotting, which was Skyboys, which was out a couple of years ago. And but I didn't really think about ever using it. Then I wrote a book called Porno, which was kind of not meant to be about the Trainspotting characters, but I got into it and I realised that the lead character was actually a character from Trainspotting. Was Sick Boy just some years on, and I thought this character's gate crashed into the book, and I can't really change them because everybody's going to see that it is that character, and that character is an appropriate character to tell that story. So, but once you've done that, you have to tell the story of the rest of the characters and bring them into it. So that was the thing that I kind of I struggled with and I still do struggle with that. I mean, the characters will kind of actually come back and gate crash into your books. But in some ways, I think of it as being like a box of tools. If you've done a lot of characters, you've got all these tools there, and if you've got a certain job, I think this guy actually do this, or this person will work for that thing. So there's no need to kind of recreate new ones. But I do like. I enjoy this book because it's completely different characters to do. It's nice to kind of. It's nice. It's like kind of. It's like making new friends and revisit old friends. They're both good things to do.
What's the extent of your, education in creative writing or literature? How much did that affect you in your style?
Yeah, I mean, I left school at 16 without qualifications. Basically, I wasn't kind of. I was quite bright at school, but I didn't like sitting in kind of. I didn't really like classroom environments, so I was probably quite disruptive and a pain to teachers, and not really kind of not kind of good to have around in that sort of environment. So I struggled with formal education for quite a bit, and I think that for me it was initially about it was also about kind of reading and sort of falling in love with books, and it was also about music, because I was always drawn to balladeers, people that told story in music, when I got into music myself and would write ballads, and I realised that it was actually the short story that I was more interested in than the actual, the actual kind of sort of harmonies and melodies around it. So I kind of got into it through that way, and when I did go to college, it was like again, it was a struggle. I've never kind of I've never really worked well in a kind of formal learning environment. I much prefer to go off and kind of do things my own way. But I think when I was teaching in the university up in Chicago and doing the MFA program, and basically to me, I'm not a great teacher. I just do it and basically do it to get the visa because I wasn't sure about the wife that time. I think she might be quite dodgy. I don't know if I'll wait a couple of years and see if she's a total psychopath. But to get married to her later. So the visa I need to get a visa on the own steam first. So she was a psychopath, but I married her anyway. But so what happened was that I did this teaching thing said to a lot of the students, like, you know, it's like, if you're under 30, you shouldn't really be here doing this program, you know, it's like kind of, you know, go down to, you know, buy all the drugs and steal a car and go down to Mexico and sort of, you know, or kind of, you know, sleep with a relative's fiance or something. So do something that's going to fuck things up. You have stories to tell, like, you know, or get a job working in a bar, or get a job waitressing, get a job in a place where people are telling stories, do a bit of traveling and all that kind of stuff. Don't spend your time kind of writing stuff now, because it's all going to be this fucking high school story shit. You know, there was always when I was in high school. 20 essays all start with when I was in high school. But I think, you know, it's like, but the ones that were over 30 or, you know, maybe over 28, 27, 28, they've done a bit of, because it was great for them, because what they needed was kind of to, you know, to learn themselves, you know, not just like kind of spelling, grammar and all that basic stuff, but the confidence to express themselves as writers. And I think, yeah, it was fantastic for them in the course. But all the younger ones were doing it the first postgraduate program. I would tell them all to go away and get a job, and the dean would come up to me and say, "You shouldn't be doing this, Irvine. This is like the idea is that we get students in here, and we bring money, and we teach them. we don't throw them out." But yeah, but I think that's kind of it's not. I'm not using that as a blanket uniform thing. I think a lot of people, you know, it's down to the individual. I think a lot of people will do benefit from these kind of things. But I didn't have that formal education in sort of in writing. I didn't have it in English, and I mean, I did things that were kind of, I did like economics and all that, which I found, which to me again is much more useful. You know, if I would encourage people to, if they want to be writers, if you want to be a writer, you write anyway. There's nothing, you know, so you don't need to learn any more about writing. You just need to do it. But if you do a degree in something that's like, you do something like engineering or geography or science or you know, politics or economics or sociology, psychology, I mean, these are much better degrees to do if you want to be a writer, because you get a knowledge base thing going on. Sorry? The character for filth. The character for filth is the guy I used to work beside. I'm not going to say his name, but this guy was like kind of. I used to work beside him at Edinburgh City, and he was this incredible guy who was like in some ways full of kind of passion and fire for the humour, but it completely got lost somewhere along the line, and it turned in all this, you know. He was like the kind of, I mean, everybody's known like, you know, the bitter co-worker, basically, who's in this kind of, you know, who's kind of like, I hate this place, I've been here so long, but I can't really go anywhere else. And I wanted to get, and the interesting thing about this guy is that most people who have authoritarian personalities, they're very hard-edged and cruel and nasty to their subordinates, but they're completely kind of servile and frightened of the guys above them. They take all the shit and basically pass it down to the organisation. Whereas this guy was a total misanthropic guy. He just hated everybody. He hated himself, obviously. But he hated his co-workers. He hated the people that were working underneath him. He hated his bosses with passion, and he was at constant war. And so he was such a fascinating character, you know, and a total nightmare as well, but an absolutely fascinating character to try and kind of put into fiction. And then it's like, I realised that he got crazier and crazier and more, and I realised that, you know, it's like, what was happening with this guy was he was actually having some kind of a breakdown. You know, it was following his wife's divorce. He was kind of, he was acting out this kind of the pain of his wife's divorce on all women in this kind of very misogynistic sort of way. But and I thought it was just that kind of sort of, you know, bit of misogyny, but you could see that there was more of it than that. There's this kind of mental breakdown was happening, and because it's like the city councils. You know, it was very much an old-fashioned organisation based on, you know, not like a police force or a military, based on a very hierarchical kind of institute, you know, very hierarchical structure. And what tends to happen, if you get a nutter in there and people get so used to them, the organisation tends to protect them in a way. You know, so it's like until they do something crazy, they never really get thrown out, or you know, you have to do something almost like kind of almost prison worthy before you get kind of sort of rumbled in one of these kind of places. And it was fascinating. I thought, well, a guy working behind the scenes, you know, in local government and all that, like that. What if I made him a cop? That would be much, because it's like you know, there's a limited amount of damage a guy like that can do. But if I make him a cop, then it's this untold kind of havoc he can wreak on the world, as well as his colleagues and all that, as well as the whole organisational side. And it was such a kind of strange book to write, and I thought I'd gone over the top, but I would pick up the newspaper, and he would come up and would ask me to sign the notebooks and all that, and they'd say, "Oh, we've got a guy exactly like that in the station, we call him Robo." But I don't know if anybody got to see the film with You Should Get Us On Demand. We've got a terrible release deal in Britain, in America for some reason. I'm really miffed about that. But it tore up, and it was one of the biggest independent crossing movies ever in the UK, and it was done, I think it's in the top 10 of biggest indie movies. It was the second biggest for that year, behind that last Tarantino movie. And it did great box office all over Europe. So we made quite a lot of money out of it. It has the actor James McAvoy is probably best known for the X-Men and Atonement. It's not just his best performance, I think it's one of the best ever performances by an actor that I've seen, the best ever solo performance. It's absolutely incendiary. So it's available on demand, so please have a look at it, because it's a great movie.
Just playing off that, I was gonna ask, how do you feel when you watch one of your books that are turned into films?
You get a different reaction. I mean, apparently Ecstasy was on the TV last night here. It was like some kind of on one of the cable channels, and it was we were ready to shoot that movie in the UK. We had it all sort of cast and ready to go, and a big financier pulled out at the last minute, literally at the last minute, about 2 weeks before, and Canadian financiers came in and said they would help us out. We had to shoot in Canada, and with largely a Canadian cast. So, I mean, a lot of Canadians were really good at doing Scottish accents because of the diaspora and all that stuff. A lot of them, you know, there's quite a few who found that actually were Scottish, and they were great. So we were able to find some really good actors, but we had to cast a lot of Canadians who weren't really good at Scottish accents. And it's like my American accent back into John Wayne on steroids accent. But when Americans do Scottish accents, everybody sounds like Groundskeeper Willie. And it's sounding, you know, it's all, you know, and you think, oh, that's how they all sound, but not to our ears it isn't, you know. So we were at the premiere in Glasgow, and we're sitting there, and the first scene where the guy comes up, he goes, at the customs, he goes, did you have a nice stay in Amsterdam? So like, did you have a nice day in Amsterdam, sir? And everybody's sniggering away in the theatre. Then you go into the next character, and the guy's opening the door for him, the driver's opening the door for him, and just pop in here, sir. And the whole cinema just erupts, like, you know. So it's like going into, it's like an American film where somebody goes up to the bar and goes to the bartender, and he goes, "Give me a shot of red eye, bartender."
Nice.
And the girl behind the bar goes, "Here's your shot of red eye." One you can get away with, two, we had about 10 of this, and the audience just kept laughing. Not that we would have noticed outside of Scotland, but your core audience is Scottish, so it was it kind of, we were supposed to do the multiplexes for 10 weeks, and we were in for 2. But it was still I still think it's quite a nice movie. You get past the accents. And, but yes, it was a good movie, and obviously Trainspotting did really well. I was really pleased with both. I liked the Acid House as well, even though it was like three short films stuck together and thrown out in haste to cash in on Trainspotting, basically. But it's a win-win for a writer. You know, if you have your book made into a film, it's like, I mean, if the film's shit, all you need to say is like, oh, they fucked up my book, but destroyed it. If the film's brilliant, you can say like, ah, well, they had the source material, look what I gave them. You know, how could it possibly fail? So if you look at it in that spirit and don't see yourself as a kind of curator of the book, because the book's always going to be there. You know, it's out there anyway. And you have to see it as transformative as well. You know, the film and the book are different things, and you have to let people get on with making the movie they want to make, you know, from the source material.
Is there a time of day or environment that you prefer to write in?
I'm usually better in the mornings, and I kind of I try and get up early in the mornings these days. So I kind of probably get up around 7 and have some, you know, have a bit of breakfast, and then try and get on it for about 8 o'clock. And by the time it's midday, I'm usually done. Like, you know, that's me knocking off the rest of the day, going out to see a movie or kind of something like that, or going to the gym, or you know. So I try and do most of the stuff in the morning, and it's like where I like to write depends on the stage I'm at in the book. I mean, it's like when I'm getting something together, if it's a book or a film screenplay, I like to be outside and to be in a cafe where there's a lot of noise and a lot of people around. It's quite bustling. Or even on public transit. When I lived in London, I used to go around in the Circle Line, just round and round and round, just kind of type, you know, sit in the corner and type. And you get a lot of descriptions of people on the earlier books from me, people just walking onto the train. So I like a lot of noise and chaos, and then when I've got the material all together, I need total quiet after that to put it all together, you know, so and I get it together, and then the next stage I need a bit of noise again, so I'll make up a